Hello there. This is going to be a video about 100%ing RPGs and why it's probably not a good idea for you to do so. I recently completed Lost Odyssey for the Xbox 360, 100%ing it by getting all of the gamer score, as you can see right here. I got all of the achievements, including the DLC dungeon, and accomplished everything the game considered to be accomplishable. And I have previously played this game. I didn't finish it, but I got to the end, and anyone who's familiar with Lost Odyssey understands probably why someone would get to essentially the end of the game or near the end of the game without completing it. It's because a lot of the side stuff, bonus content, additional things you can do all come at you at the end of the game rather than it being sprinkled throughout the game, which just sort of backloads a lot of the content that would be relevant for a 100% playthrough. Why did I choose to 100% this game? Well, because I almost finished it before and I really liked this game, so I was like, oh, let's give it a go. And 100%ing this game involves having spreadsheets and guides and having checklists of gathering every little accessory and learning every skill you can for each of the immortals. So you have to keep track of all of those things, and you have to pick up literally every treasure in the game. Every single one, and they're all hidden throughout the environments behind posters, trash cans, treasure chests, trees, all kinds of places. So you can imagine why doing this task is fairly tedious. It's not really intended to be done on your first playthrough anyways, which this sort of is, sort of. Thankfully there's a New Game Plus mode, and it really is more structured for, hey, you're already powerful, you don't have to worry about anything. You can kind of just auto battle through every fight. But because of the length of battles and the fact that you need to do these bonus dungeons and search every nook and cranny, it really is incumbent on you to have information that other people have already collected to do this sort of thing. And frankly, it just bogs down the pace of the game by adding all these little checklists and things that you need to do throughout. You're less focused on playing the game and experiencing the game than you are focused on checking little things off of a list. And this is going to my larger point and my perspective on 100%ing a game like a JRPG, is that it really does take away from the overall experience. And here's why. For one, by 100%ing things, typically you're going to become extremely powerful. And becoming really powerful in a JRPG is part of the fun. However, I think by becoming uber powerful, you remove a lot of the challenge that a game like this would present itself. Now, you can't over level like you could in a typical RPG by grinding, because there's a curve in terms of how much experience you can get from enemies, though there is a way around that in this game, because there's a very powerful enemy you can access somewhat early on and basically fight over and over again like a super boss, but it's very difficult. Putting that aside, you have a situation where you become super powerful, and that removes some of the challenge of the game. And rather than just going through the game, taking it as it is, you're trying to min-max the whole gameplay throughout. Maximize all the things you need to pick up, maximize your skill acquisition, all these things, all the, the gameplay systems to completely bust the whole thing open, break the game by maximizing your gameplay. And I just don't think that's a great idea in terms of how to approach a game like this and how to approach games in general. And anyone can play the game however they like. I'm not suggesting you have to do this or whatever. If people want to, you know, have documents up and spreadsheets and guides and do all those things to just say, I did this, woo, you know, go knock yourself out. However, when you finish, let's say, the final boss of a JRPG, and you are completely kitted out because you've done everything the game has to offer you, and you don't even need to think about the final boss. There's no need to even consider anything in the fight. You could pretty much just hold A, so to speak, and you'll be fine, and just auto battle. I see that as a bit of a problem as far as what the game is supposed to be. Or, you know, making the final battle actually climactic. That's the awkward thing often with JRPGs. There are systems in place where you can make what's supposed to be the climax, the, you know, the peak of the whole experience completely fall on its face because you went into some corner of the world and did this super secret dungeon where the actual hardest boss in the game exists. It's a strange thing. While I did find something out of doing this 100%, and it was neat to do, because I don't think I've really 100%ed a lot of JRPGs. I just don't think it's for me, and I also think it's probably not a good idea for most people to do this sort of thing, especially on a first time. This was sort of my second playthrough, so I wouldn't quite call it my first time, but maximizing your experience with the game this way sort of just makes it all to be a job rather than taking the game as it is and being like, it's okay to miss things. It's okay to overlook stuff. You know, you don't have to actually see everything something has to offer. It's just like with watching a movie. You're not going to be able to, if you're trying to soak everything in the first time you watch a movie, you're not really watching the movie. At that point, you're just like going frame by frame, replaying sections, trying to see every little detail, everything you could actually soak up, and taking notes and all that stuff. And I don't think that's how most people watch movies. And with a game like this that is very much story-based, character-based, and experiential, especially with the short stories, what's the point? What is the point besides saying, I did it, I got my gamer score up, I got my trophies, whatever? At the end of the day, the experience, in my mind, is not about the gamification of the game, trophies and achievements, and saying, hey, I collected all the skills I could with Kime or Sarah or whoever. What are you leaving in your mind with the story and the themes and all that stuff? Breaking everything down into just pure systems, I think, misses the point of a game like this. So I just wanted to ramble a little bit about this. I'm sure some people who are very much completionists would probably disagree with me, and that's okay. I just want to advocate my position that even if you really like a game, there's no police saying, hey, make sure that you need to, if the only way you really can say that you really adore a game is by 100%ing it, or, you know, doing a challenge run, or speed running it, or any of this stuff. Like, you could just take the game as it comes, and if you miss things, it's okay. People miss things all the time in life. People are extremely ignorant of all kinds of things, but that doesn't mean they can't take something away from it, or enjoy it, or whatnot. Don't be gatekeepy. Do not be gatekeepy. Alright, that's it. Thank you all for watching, and take care. See you next time.